Hey guys, this is a video in my MATLAB tutorial series. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to check if a string contains a substring. I'm also going to show how to check if a column vector containing multiple strings contain substrings. This can be very useful if you're trying to identify data in a data set that meets certain criteria. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. You may already know that strings are ways to store texts. MATLAB has two ways to store text data. You can either store a sequence of characters or pieces of texts as a character array or as a string array. In order to store text or a sequence of characters as a character array, you can use single quotes. For example, if I type x equals single quote hello world, notice that the little ch appears next to the x. That means that this is a character array. Now, if I had typed hello world in double quotes like this, notice that str for string appears next to x. This indicates that MATLAB recognizes this as a string. I just wanted to point that out. I won't be going into a detailed discussion on the differences between string and character arrays in this video. I'm going to be dealing with strings and not character vectors throughout this video, so just be mindful of that as you follow along. I'm going to start a new script, and I'm going to start off with clear and CLC to get rid of anything in the command window and the workspace. And the string that I'm going to create is going to be engineers are the best. As of course they are. Now, the substring that I'm going to be checking for is engineer. So when I say substring, all I'm basically saying is this string contained within the larger string? And to help us check for that, we can use MATLAB's built-in contains function. So I can say x equals contains, open parenthesis. The first argument is the string in which we are searching, and then it's the substring, and then we will close off the parenthesis. So contains is a logical function, so it will return 0 if the condition is false. It will return 1 if the condition is true. So what are we expecting in this case? Is the substring engineer contained within engineers are the best? Let's run this. We get 0, meaning that it's false. And why is that? Notice that engineer here is lowercase and engineer here is uppercase. In this form of the function, contains is case sensitive. However, if we wanted to make this case insensitive, we can add in an additional argument, ignore case equals true, and run it now. And this time we get x equals 1. Meaning that it is true. Engineer is contained within engineers are the best. This time, I want MATLAB to return true if the string contains the phrase engineers are. If I run it, no problem, I get engineers are is contained within engineers are the best. However, what if I wanted to know if the word engineer and the word best were contained in the string? Since they're not next to each other, is it going to work this way? And it's not. So what we can do is delete this here and create another substring. I'll call it substring 2, and I'm going to set that equal to the word best, and I'm going to use the AND function, open parenthesis, comma, and I'll copy this and paste it here. And all I'm going to need to do is change this to substring 2 and then close off the parenthesis for the AND function. What the AND function does is it's also a logical function that's checking whether both conditions within the function are true. So whether both arrays are non-zero values. So if this is 1 and this is 1, x will equal 1. If this is 0, this is 1, x will equal 0. So let's run this. We get 1. What if instead of best we were looking for if the words engineers and cats were contained in the function in the string? We would get 0 because even though engineers is in the string, cats is not. Similarly, we could if we were looking for if either of these words were in the string, we could use the OR function. Very similar arguments, but this time, if at least one of the arguments is true, then x will equal 1. And we get 1. Now that we understand how to manipulate the contains function, let's make things a little bit more interesting. I'm going to import an Excel file that has names of people in one column and their job titles in the other. This is what the file looks like. I just want to find all of the names that have engineer in the job title. So let's minimize this. And I'm going to import the data into MATLAB. First, I'm going to go on the home tab in the tool strip, import data, and I'm going to select the file. And automatically MATLAB picks up the data range. But if you wanted to resize the selection window, you can do that, or you can manually type in the data range up here as well. And you can import as table, column vectors, numeric matrix, string array, cell array, etc. I'm going to import as column vectors. So I'll go ahead and instead of importing as data, I'll generate a function. If I import as data, when I run another script, I'll need to import the data again. So let's generate a function that resizes and imports the data the way I wanted. And there are comments to let you know what MATLAB is doing. What I'm going to do is save this and save it as just import file, which is fine. And now I'm going to call up the function. And when I call up the function, I'll have to specify what my outputs are. For some reason, it's name1, and this is position. This may be name1 because I tried importing this in before, so it may have stored it as a separate one. So I'll call this name1 position, and let's type in the function name, import file, and the file name is positions and names.xlsx, and let's close off the parenthesis. I don't need to specify the sheet name. There's only one sheet. So let's go ahead and check if the data is importing properly. So let's run this. And I have a column vector with the names, and I have another column vector with the respective positions. Then I'm going to create a for loop with the index going from 1 to the length of the position vector. And also I'm going to, on the outside, I'm going to create the substring engineer. Here, what I'm going to do is look for whether the ith element in the position vector is the substring. And I'm going to ignore case. Press this. If x equals 1, meaning if the substring is found within the ith element in the position vector, and this has to be a double equal sign because x is equal to that value 1. And we're going to store the name of that person with the title engineer in another array named y. And we're going to end the if function, and we're going to end the for loop. Let's run this. Oh, this should be name 1 of I. Let's run this again. So now we see that y is a 1/10 string, and when we open it, we see that we have the names of all the people who have engineer in their title. However, notice that there are some empty elements right here, 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 and here. Why is the third element empty? If we look at it, the third element is data analyst and it's not engineer, so when it's running the for loop, it skips over that, leaves an empty element in the y vector, and it does the same thing for the other instances where the word engineer is not in the job title. I'm going to add in another line of code, which will be y equals this means that if the element is non-empty, so if this means not, so if it's not empty, if it's a non-empty element in the y vector, we're going to store it in another vector called y, and effectively we'll override this vector. So our new y vector will be all the non-empty elements. Let's run it. Let's see what happens. And now we have all of the names of the people that have engineer in their job title. There you have it. I hope this video has been helpful in some way. Hopefully you learned something. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Check out other videos on my channel, especially the MATLAB Tutorial Series and the Graphing and Scientific Calculator Tutorial Series. I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. Until next time, take care, guys.